So a quick summary for chapter 3 of Jane Eyre. Jane, at one point in the night, fainted, and she was taken into the nursery, and when she was kind of still in that sleepy state, she just felt very comfortable and at peace and loved because she was actually being taken care of by Bessie. The local apothecary, who Mrs. Reed, she called the apothecary for the servants and Jane, whereas she would call a physician for ailments that she and her own children may suffer. But anyway, the apothecary, Mr. Lloyd, he came and talked to Jane, and he found that she was very upset. He had a moment where he could talk to her when Bessie went down for a meal, and he was able to just get the gist that Jane was mistreated. She was unhappy. Early in the day, Bessie was trying to be kind and sweet to her while the Reeds were out. She gave her a tart on this bird of paradise plate that Jane had always admired, but Jane was just in such a sad state that, as she said, it was too late. All of these little graces and treats that she was being given. And so then back to the doctor being there, finding she wasn't happy, he asked her if you had family who could take you from your father's side, would you go? And Jane said no, because all she's ever been told by her Aunt Reed is that if she doesn't have any relations on her father's side, that they're probably very poor. And as a young child, Jane's only understanding of being poor is that it's a very negative state to be living in, the begging and poverty. And so she says, no, like I don't want to go live with people, like even if they were kind to me, living in poverty sounds really terrible too. And so then the doctor, he suggests that perhaps she could go to school. And Jane, while she's heard really negative things about school, she has also heard from Bessie talking about other people that she's been a servant to, whose daughters went to school, and that they had a lot of really amazing accomplishments. And so she's okay with that. And so the Reeds get home. The doctor is on his way out. He talks to Mrs. Reed and suggests to her that Jane go to school. And of course, Mrs. Reed, not liking Jane, totally jumps on that idea because it would be a way to get her away from her. It would be a way to get Jane away from Mrs. Reed. And what else? Oh, also, Jane's parents both died from typhus. Her father was a clergyman. Her grandfather had been very upset at her mother marrying him, and so she was cut off financially, and her father caught typhus while visiting a poor home, and within a month of each other, both of her parents died. So that's essentially chapter 3 of Jane Eyre.